Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the Rise and Grind Mastermind call. And just encourage you to start your day with vision, start your day with purpose. I know that you are important and that you do have a part to play in this life that we live in. Just to give you a brief description on the purpose of this call, no single individual has sufficient experience, education, native ability, and knowledge to ensure the accumulation of a great fortune without the cooperation of other people. This concept of the Mastermind Group was formally introduced by Napoleon Hill in the early 1900s in his timeless classic Think and Grow Rich. Again, this call was started on September the 8th, 2016 by Tamika Williams. And we've been going every day since then. Every morning we start this call at about 9 o'clock. We encourage everyone to tell someone to tune in to the call. We're on Facebook, Rise and Grind Mastermind call. We have YouTube now. We're on YouTube as well as SoundCloud. So subscribe, join with us on this journey that we're embarking upon, and let's get started. Today's topic is the focus factor, how to become more focused. Life is like a camera. You have to focus on what's important, and you'll capture it. Maybe not perfectly, but you will capture whatever it is that you're trying to focus on. I have a few points that I would just like to highlight on how we can become more focused individuals, especially, this really speaks volumes to myself. One of the first things that I wanted to address about how I can become more focused is simply, number one, is by calming my mind. And calming my mind, I can do that in a number of ways, by doing mindfulness exercises, meditation or prayer, simply clearing my mind before I begin whatever task it is, before I begin my day, before I go to work, before whatever it is, just taking, it doesn't have to be a lot of time either. Anywhere from 2 minutes to whatever is convenient for your schedule, because we all live different lives. But to actually center your mind, calm your mind, clear your mind is very important before we plan on focusing on whatever task it is that we plan to go after for that day. Or, if it's a particular project or whatever it might be. So calming your mind is very important. Another point I would like to focus on would be to focus on one thing at a time. And this can be a quite challenging area for a lot of us, really, minimizing multitasking. It's a old proverb from Confucius. He says, if he who chases two rabbits catches none. I know we live in a society to where, it's hustle and bustle. You've got a million things going at one time, and you've got to have your hand in it to get certain things accomplished. But the real deal is when you've got a lot going on, you're really not being as productive as you can be, being that, you're not focused, centered on one particular task. Your mind is going in 10 different ways, and you're actually getting less accomplished. I know I was big on thinking, I'm a great multitasker. I can do a lot of projects at the same time. But when I would come back to the end of the day and look at my productivity, really I did get some things accomplished, but I wasted a lot of time. So whatever goal that you might have in mind, like today, I have to focus on a midterm. I want to do some music. I want to do a little running around. I have some other things that I need to get, that I need, some other obligations that I need to get handled. But for today, I have to focus on studying. So everything else will take a back burner. And what I plan on doing as well, another thing about staying focused is when it comes to that multitasking, I have to learn how to how to prioritize making a to-do list. A to-do list is very essential in focusing, because this will help you prioritize what projects need to be done right away versus the ones that you can go back to later on. It was this book that I was listening to called Eat the Frog, and they were talking about how the art of mastering procrastination. But, first of all, we have to be very clear that we will procrastinate. Like, it's just inevitable. Procrastination is going to pop up. But by limiting, by forming a to-do list, and by addressing those tasks that are the most difficult, knocking that out the box first, it makes all the other tasks almost, easily obtainable with childlike ease. So, having that to-do list, minimizing for multitasking will really allow us to focus more on that one particular goal or those particular things that we need to do versus trying to do 10 things at one time. Along with establishing a to-do list, it's also important that we learn to declutter, to have some organization within ourselves, within our homes, within our lives, personal, intrapersonal, on many different levels, because it's quite hard to move around and to do things on track when there's a lot of mess in the way. So there needs to be some decluttering, some reorganizing, some things of that nature to reduce stress, to make things easy to get to versus having to move all these various obstacles out of the way. When it comes to, excuse me very briefly, another point that I wanted to mention as far as focusing or the focus factor will be to eliminate known distractions. Now, we know that there will be distractions that we have no control over. Now, those things are just going to happen, but known distractions need to be eliminated as much as possible. Examples of that would be phone calls, the internet, all these social medias and emails, tweets, and all things of that nature. I mean, I understand that, a lot of us do, handle a lot of business via the internet and stuff like that, and that's cool. That's very understandable. But there's a balance between handling business. I mean, there's a difference between handling business and just slacking, being distracted. So, it's important that we eliminate those known distractions so that we can expect to be more productive and more focused about whatever it is that we're trying to do. In addition to that, you can't expect to live or to be your most productive or your most positive self if you're being around people who are the exact opposite of that. It's just not going to happen. I had to find myself, I had to take myself away from certain people that I know now. I mean, they're my friends, but we're just on two different pages, and I'm trying to go one way. They're doing their thing as well, and that's all right too. But if they're not in alliance with what with what my focus is, I have to learn how to separate myself, but still remain a friend to them as well. Lastly, I wanted to talk about having clarity of your goals in your planning. Being clear of the goals and objectives that you want to accomplish will help you stay on track. When you know what it is that you have to do, again, like I said, I know today I have to study for this exam. Because I know this is what I have to do, it makes it really quite easier for me to just really cancel and cut off all the other things that aren't so important. So, again, today we just wanted to really talk about, the importance of the focus factor, how to calm your mind, how to focus on one thing, minimize multitasking, to establish a to-do list. In addition, with that to-do list, learning to declutter, to organize and get some structure into our daily lives. Again, we want to learn how to eliminate those known distractions. Like I said, social media, friends, etc. You know what those distractions are in your life. That's why I made sure to say eliminate known distractions. And again, you want to have some clarity about the goals in which you're trying to achieve. Did anyone else on the call want to chime in? All right, cool. Well, I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in to the call this morning. Again, it was entitled, the focus factor. Hope that you got something informative and knowledgeable from this discussion. Please encourage your friends, close ones, loved ones to tune in to the call every morning. Let them know what we're doing. We thank you for listening, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks.